The original plan was to spread Devastator across 2 years, but now they want to do it within 5 to 6 months.
Thank you. But it's different, and it brings them current. We don't have tapes anymore, and we were sitting there thinking or contemplating: is this them hinting that they're going to make a masterpiece figure?
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Sometimes this old brain does remember stuff.
I think everybody would. Well, I don't think everybody would be happy, but I think me and you would be more happy if they did that.
I would be in for so many more Hasbro figures. I can say this: I want some of those cone heads at the bottom. The dump truck long haul. It reminds me of the Combiner War version.
I'm not trying to be too negative, but I think I would like this better than Hasbro's attempt, which is probably going to be around the same price.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Hey, welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And we're back with another round of news. But as always, before we jump into that, let's give a special shout out to our official sponsor, The Chosen Prime, where you can find many of the figures we're going to talk about either on pre-order, maybe in stock, who knows. Also, want to give a shout out to our members. Really enjoyed the members live this past weekend. If you're not a member, it's not too late to join, and you can join us next time. As well as to our subscribers. Without you, we would not be doing this. So before we jump into the news, stay tuned. James is going to release his Dungeon collection tomorrow for members and on Friday for non-members. And then we're also going to be doing our hauls this weekend as well. We're going to do it a little bit early, so there may be some stuff that comes in at the end of the month, but I'll be out of town, so let's go ahead and get those hauls together for this weekend. And with that, let's go ahead and hop into the news.
All right, well, let's start off with a interview from Toys R Us, which is a YouTube channel. I'd recommend looking them up. And I guess they did it with Evan and Mark. So Mark Clonus, we always talk about. And there's a few things that were of note, so I thought we'd just go through them. The first one is the goal of the Studio Series 86. Well, I don't know why I got tongue-tied there. The Commander Optimus Prime was to beat MP10. Do you think they did that? I have a picture of MP10 on screen.
I don't see the. You can't compare them. I don't. You're comparing a old figure to something you just put out new. And you're also comparing a masterpiece figure, to a mainline figure. I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think they did good, but I don't think it's a fair comparison.
I will say one way the Commander does beat the old MP10 is with posability or articulation. It does look a lot more articulated than this old figure, but again, this figure is 12, more than that.
Yeah.
13, 14 years old. But I do like the finish on this better. But I mean, what do you expect? Again, like you said, you can't compare the two.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a premium deco, and it will, or an upsized MP version of that, and maybe it'll be better. But I don't see them doing that with MP44. Was Optimus correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's a tomato type of thing. It's not. You can't compare them.
And not only that, just think you just said MP44.
Good point.
MP44 came out years ago. I mean, we're on 60 something now.
100.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, in the numbers, it's 60
the numbers was 100. That's why they're ending the MP line.
I think they don't have a fans toys. They don't have a MP 99 or 100. They have had 100 figures. They've had.
Like, is that what it was?
Yeah. So they've had pluses and
you're right.
Stuff like that. So yeah. So
it's still 100 figures in the MP line.
Yeah. So you're talking about, you're comparing something that's totally irrelevant. That's like me saying that my car now is so much faster than the car I drove 12 years ago. Duh.
Well, that actually might not be the case. I don't know if that's the best comparison. Some of those old cars can go pretty dang fast.
My old car. My
Your old car. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep it going. And the Knight Rider collaboration wasn't made with the goal of scaling with anything, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So I don't know if you want to get too much into that, but I thought that was an interesting point. And they said this was also interesting. A lot of brands have come to Hasbro to do collabs. Certain ones get pushed forward based on what they think will work. And it's a lot of back and forth, which I kind of expect. So I'm curious at what all those brands are.
I would love to know what those brands are. And I wonder how many of them we would push to the side as well. Or how many we'd be like, please, please redo this.
Yeah. So they're also debating on whether to do the cardboard backs in the Studio Series boxes, since research indicates that people don't use them that much. I've thrown every one away.
Initially, I did. Initially, I had all mine on there. But they're not really that big or that wide, so like if I know like Grimlock, I had him having 1 foot on the stage, and it was just like, okay. And then because of the way they fold up, I had them on my shelf and they just look really messy
because they like fold out.
Yeah.
I think if it could give us better figures or more ping taps, get rid of them. I don't think anybody would complain.
Yeah. I thought it was a good idea, but it didn't execute well in my collection.
I agree. So they also talked about using flight stands. Like making their own flight stands, which I think is interesting. It's an interesting concept. But with it would have to be as cheap as the ones you could get on Amazon.
Yeah.
You could get a 12-pack for like $10. I'm probably exaggerating, but you could get them for really dirt cheap on Amazon. So what would be the draw to get a Hasbro flight stand?
It'll say Hasbro or it'll say Transformers. Maybe.
Well, not a draw for me, but maybe for you, Bobby.
No, I'm saying that would be the difference. They'll probably say Hasbro or say Transformers, and then I'm like, well, maybe they'll just buy them from Amazon and mark them up.
So the comic stuff isn't going to be in Studio Series until 86 is finished, which makes sense to me. Let's do one line at a time instead of all these little lines. I think the Gamer line does make sense because the game Reactivate is supposed to come out. So it makes sense that they put that out to get some marketing for that. But I think it's better finish one line, move on to the next, so on and so forth.
I agree. But how deep and how far are we going to go into the 86 line too, though? That's the other question. Are we 4 or 5 years out from it being completed? Then go ahead and get it out. The other stuff out.
So let's talk about Devastator, which you can see on screen. First of all, when we did our members live, everybody talked about the trumpets. They will not be included, but they will show off Devastator at some form at PulseCon. So we'll have some, whether that's a prototype or an art or something, we'll have something. The original plan was to spread Devastator across 2 years, but now they want to do it within 5 to 6 months.
Thank you.
So that is, I don't know who. That is much better than that. And the internal team actually said to show off the combiners all at once, and they're trying to figure out a system to make most of the pieces available all at once. Here's a easy way: just make it one wave.
Just do a box set.
Do a box set too. But if they do it one wave, they'll all get sold. Nobody's gonna buy one aerial. Well, no adult collector is gonna buy one aerial bot off the shelf.
Yeah. I miss box sets. I'm stuttering over here. I miss box sets. I love box sets. It was great. The part that always sucks is that you'll find one, and hopefully they correct this. You'll find one, maybe the first release, it'll be everywhere. You'll find the second release, it's everywhere. The third figure comes out, you can't find it.
And that's actually what they mentioned. They mentioned that they learned from Menasor that Breakdown was well into the later wave, as we know, and it was harder to get than they wanted it to be.
Yes.
So I remember that going for a lot of money. So hopefully, they figure that out, because I think if they do, I think it'll be better. Oh, and then there's also still a lot of candidates for Titan class, which is the second time we've heard that. So maybe they're worried about people thinking they're not going to do Titan class. Hasui wants to do Grandis, but Mark thinks Broadside would fit.
What was the first one?
Grandis.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably buy a Grandis. As far as a Broadside, I think it would be better for Commander class for Broadside than Titan class, personally. I get it, aircraft carrier with the jets, but I still think a Commander class would be better.
I just don't want the proportions to be out of whack with the other triple changers.
That's my thing. That's why at Commander he's a little bit taller, but he's not like 2 feet tall, while the other ones are, little. Yeah. So I think Commander class would work.
I hate to say this, but I thought it was really unique what they did with their tidal wave, how they had a mini version of it, so it scaled appropriately when it connected to Megatron or Galvatron, whichever one you want to put them on. I thought that was really cool. If they did something like that for Broadside, that would be cool. Just the reverse side. So you have this bigger aircraft carrier that maybe some parts connect or whatever, but then you still have the uniqueness of the character that fits in with your other triple changers. Because then if you don't do that, then like all the other triple changers, like Astro Train is a space shuttle. The space shuttle is bigger than a helicopter, and
he actually had people that went inside of him.
Right.
In the right? I'm not wrong.
Right.
I don't think Broadside ever carried people, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you did. You had, and I mean, if you think about the '86 movie, they were fighting inside of.
Yeah. So why isn't
so now,
exactly?
Now you're throwing the whole scale off, which.
There was a comment, I forget on which one of the lives, where somebody said to do a Titan class Broadside with a plane, and the plane turned into a head like a headmaster. That would be unique and cool. It would probably piss a lot of people off, but I think that would be a cool, unique concept for a Broadside. Still has all 3 modes, but it's a little different. Broadside.
That would be a great mode. Don't call it Broadside.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree with you.
I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Don't call it Broadside. I'd be pissed because I'm like, Broadside wasn't a headmaster. That's gonna be, that's gonna always be the first thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I think it's a cool design, but Broadside, we'll see. Well, we'll be right back with what has been just announced. We're back with what has been just announced. Hopefully, there'll be a lot in here, but I think what we're really looking for is towards the end of this. First, we've got some comics. So we've got a limited number 11 comic, and these pictures are via Bobby the Bot. And the Skybound and Transformers, we got some upcoming covers on X from Livio Ramondelli, which is the artist. So it's official. Before I talk about this limited cover, I really do like the Optimus and Shockwave 2 covers. I could see picking those up and putting them on in a frame or something. They look really cool.
It would look great in the frame. I actually have a couple of versus photos and frames. I have Blaster versus Soundwave, and then I have, well, it's not a versus, but it's like the whole G1 team and then the whole G2 team of Autobots against the wall. So I would definitely display something like that. I also like how they have like Jetfire and Jazz, besides, it just being Prime and Shockwave, it's all the other kind of figures going at it as well. So that looks really cool.
I agree. And why don't you explain this other comic?
Yeah, so shout out to Chris over at Urban Pop. If you're in the Ackworth area, go check them out. So saw this today, and this is limited to 1 per store that is I believe like a subscriber to the series. So 1. this is it for his store, and it looks really cool. It's another variant of number 11, and of course, I was looking at grabbing it, and then he told me the situation. I said, okay, well, maybe not. And then we started talking about some other things. So there might be something in the works dealing with Urban Pop and Bot versus Con in the future. So stay tuned for that for Baltimore.
Yeah, I still don't know why you didn't pick it up.
I don't like Ultra Magnus that much.
If it was Prime, would you pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Next, there were some Transformers 1 promotional clips from Brazil. Is the first one we're going to look at. And I put this screenshot up. Spoilers ahead, by the way. Just in case anybody wants to be completely blind. I know my dad does when he goes in a movie, so spoilers ahead. But I found it weird that Transformers can still transform. It's just Optimus and stuff that can't. So I want to know how they played with that.
So I did watch this clip as well. Luckily, it was not in English, so I didn't,
I was very confused for like 10 seconds before I figured it out.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is that this is maybe maybe the society that has the transformation cogs doing this, and Prime and Megatron and all them, they're just on the lower level of things, and so
yeah,
they're not capable of it. So this is probably like some grand event, and that's why they're kind of showing off here. I don't know.
I completely agree, but then why is it such a big deal that they get the transformation cogs? I thought Alpha Trion, that was the first Transformers to transform when he gave it to him, because it was this big crazy thing, you know what I mean? And I think we saw the cars, but I didn't put two and two together. But now I'm like, okay. Like, they have to explain why it's important then.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you can't change, and they made the change over or something. So it should be interesting. There was a lot of familiar faces. And I think Blue out there is going to be seeing this while we're recording. So if you could say anything about why, if you liked it, yes or no, do that without breaking that NDA. So in Taiwan, they also showed off one, and I really liked this scene with the older Megatron and the older Prime going at it. This is the Transformers movie I want to see. And I also have to give them props to giving Prime a new weapon with the flames. I don't think we've ever seen that before. And it was very unique and cool and different. So the more I see, they're doing the right thing with this movie. They should have probably just showed this first.
So something that I've also am going to take a step back, and why I think this movie is going to probably be better than Rise of the Beast or some of the other Bayverse movies. You can just do more with animation than you can do with CG and actors. I've always said that some of the cartoon movies are some of the best ones because of the things that they do, and then you'll see them take like a Disney movie and make it a real life movie, and it sucks. And so I still have my hopes up for this. This is going to describe, or this is going to answer a lot of the questions I had as a kid watching Transformers, of all the times Prime alluded to them being cool on Cybertron. This is going to really answer that for me, how they do this.
Yeah, I think this will be interesting. So yeah, good on them. I can't wait to see it. I think it's next month.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned. We'll do a spoiler filled review on that when that comes out.
Yeah, so get your tickets.
Less interesting is the Burger King Alita 1 and B127 toys were found in the US by TFW user Dirge121. They are what they are. I mean, if I was a kid and I got this as my Happy Meal, or what do they call them at Burger King? Kids meal, we're just going to say that. I'd be happy to have it, if you were like 5. But
so this Bumblebee, this G1 looking Bumblebee, isn't the one that's in there. That's
No, that's just comparison. I'm sorry, I should have said that. That's just to show how big it is.
I wanted to clarify just in case, because some people might be beelining it on over to.
Oh, if they had that, I'd probably be doing that. Even I don't like Bumblebee.
Yeah, I was like, what else? Yeah, we're a long way from where we were when we were kids, and the Happy Meal toys. You actually got the transforming food and stuff like that. Those were really cool.
And then for Beast Wars, they had them actually transform as well.
Okay, so
they weren't just like this. It was after Beast Wars that they started just doing these type of things. But at least those even had like spinners and stuff to shoot off and whatnot. This is
a piece of plastic.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Unless maybe, who knows, maybe the Bumblebee rolls back and you let it go and it goes. That'd be
that would be cool.
That would be fun for a kid.
I remember those as a kid. I used to love those types of things.
So let's keep it going on to something that you need to buy.
Uh-oh.
And that is Transformers X Super X New Activewear Collection.
You throw a BVC label on it, I get it.
I have to say I like that they're Transformers, but it's subtle.
Yeah.
It's not overdone. You know what I mean?
I didn't look at the price.
I couldn't even find it. I don't think these are up.
Okay.
Or anything yet. I couldn't find it. Please let us know in the comments if it is. But I think they look good. If they had a Megatron, I'd be interested. Probably not, because I'm cheap when it comes to my clothes. So, but if they had a Megatron, I'd look at the price. Let me put it that way.
I'm gonna look at the price. I might get the Prime one.
Yeah.
It'll go with my Prime shoes.
There you go.
That I did.
So I didn't know if this was official or not, but Pop Mart Fuchsian Transformers Optimus Prime via Shentu Toy Box. It's a statue. It's a very strange looking Prime. I do want to point out, I do not like that it has like a realistic explosion by his feet or rubble or whatever, and then the cartoony explosion right in front of it.
I was literally thinking the same thing. That's terrible. And he looks unfinished.
There's a lot of gray. I think it's the gray on the arms. I think if the arms were red, like we're used to seeing, it'd look better. It's an interesting take on Prime, I'll give it that.
But it's like, again, look at the gray in between his feet and his knees. Like, it's all
I didn't
gray,
even notice that.
And then the gray all the way up his chest. The gray all the way up on his thighs. It looks, now, if you would have said somebody hit him with a cement bomb, I'd be like, oh, okay, got it. Like if that was an episode or in the comics and he got hit by a cement bomb and he started turning into cement, I'd be like, nailed it. But it just looks unfinished.
Yeah, I didn't even see the gray on the legs. I don't understand it, but if
if
anybody knows anything about this design, please let us know in the comments.
And those pipes are extremely long.
They are. They actually remind me of Transformers 1, like when they turn into guns.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I thought of when I saw them.
Yeah. So okay, sorry about
the painting looks good though. Besides the weird color choices.
Yeah.
This is something I want though. So Funby Studios has an SD card slot holder. So you get single or double. I do have. You'll see in my collection. This Soundwave, and he's just sitting up there doing nothing. So if he could hold something that can hold my games or whatnot, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's different. It's something that I wouldn't have thought about. It's not something I need. So yes. It's not one of my favorite listings from Funby Studios, but it's different and it brings them current. We don't have tapes anymore. We don't have those devices. Kids now don't even know what those are. So seeing this is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it. If I could have you print one with your 3D printer that you still need to buy, I'd probably have you do it.
Hey, just cash app me or spend me some money. I'll go get it.
So Magic Square, surprisingly, is doing an MP scaled Bruticus. I'm assuming Bruticus because they showed off Brawl This is the only one we've seen, and obviously it's Heavy Gunner. What are your thoughts on this? I see your face over there.
Well, God, it had to be at least a month ago. We talked about there was a picture, and Bruticus was holding one of the, I believe it was one of the Legends figures in his hand, and we were sitting there thinking or contemplating, is this them hinting that they're going to make a Masterpiece figure?
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Sometimes this old brain does remember stuff. And I always said if they came out with a MP version, I would pick it up. Hold me to it. It's going to happen.
What do you think of it, though?
It looks good.
You're going to buy
it. So I have the Zeta version, and I got the Zeta version with some custom parts. From TFCon, you were with me on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool, but it was a little bit dated. I have the oversized version as well, which doesn't really knock it out the park. This one looks like a new, updated 2022, 2023, 2024 version of Bruticus, so I'm in for it. I think it looks really good. I love the different poses he's in. I watched a video on the transformation, and
I didn't know they had one.
Yeah. So there's a video out for that. So now my question is this how the Legends size transforms as well? I didn't go look at a video for that, or did they make some changes?
Yeah, I think this is the best looking Brawl that we've gotten ever. Like, this looks so good. And this is like when I was talking about that X-Transbots one. This looks like the show, but it looks updated.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as flat as the original one. I'm thinking about picking just this one up because I have a OC that has a little bit of yellow in it that I could paint. Because this looks phenomenal. And we've talked about the Legends ones, and we said if they were bigger, we'd probably get them.
Yep.
And here they are. I just want to make sure it has the same posability. Because it might be hindered a little bit. I can't tell, but it does look really good so far. And the alt mode is also really cool. Really G1 toy accurate with those guns hanging off the back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the Toon had that or not. Yeah, and he does have his foot. So it is going to be a parts form or not all in one, which we didn't talk about the Ocular Max one. That one looks good for the time, but that's also old. So this looks really good.
And the other part about it, which we saw with, again, the Legend size, is they came out with a different color, or a more premium look to it, in my opinion. Are they going to do that with this?
Well, they also did with their Prime.
And
they didn't with like the Magnus or the Nemesis Prime. Yep.
So are they going to do that? So it is a buy for me. I just hope I hope that they don't get me, and then like a year later they're like, here's a premium paint version.
Yeah, the whole combiner probably won't be a buy for me, just because, I don't like the pants and all that they did with their Bruticus. It looks good, but it's just not for me. But I might pick this one up to make it into a original character, and then I also might pick up Swindle just because he's my favorite. I want a Swindle. I don't need a Bruticus. You know what I mean? So yeah. I might do that. But this looks good. I'll wait till I see everything, though. Maybe they'll do something cool like Fans Toys did, and the parts will turn into a stand or a tower, a communications tower or something. That would make me more interested.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, but I'm right there with you in picking this up as well.
All right. Well, that's everything we have for Just Announced. So stick with us after these after this break, and we'll see you in a second. And updates, and we still got a lot of these, so a few of them we might fly by. First, the pre-order for the Leo Convoy came out. If you want it, go pre-order it. I think it looks good. It just doesn't really have a place for my collection since I have that one, which looks like an ant on the screen.
Yeah, I'm skipping this one as well. Maybe a sale, or maybe I don't know, KO or something. Maybe I'll grab that, but I don't really need this.
Even if they come out with those, I'm good with that. I mean, Leo Prime's never been my favorite.
Yeah.
So it's cool though. Next, the YOLO Park G1 Nemesis Prime pre-orders are set to begin in September. So we'll see the price. If the price is right, I might pick it up. I don't have a version of this in my collection, you know, and it's Nemesis Prime. You guys will see shortly. I have too many shelves of black repaints, so I don't even know where to put. I'm not going to give too much away, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think these are like $40-$50. That's really not that bad. I just wish it was more of a model kit.
I think you should do it either way. I think you should do it either way.
No, we'll see. We'll see what else is coming out that month. Okay, let's get into the interesting stuff. So, Toys R Us, which we already talked about, go check out his YouTube channel because he has some Knight Rider stuff. He showed it off. The packaging looks really good. Are you gonna leave one of your 6 or 7 of these in packaging?
One will remain in packaging.
Yep, I don't blame you. Like we talked about with the scale, I didn't really want to talk about it there because I wanted to talk about it here. I think this is MP scaled. They said that they weren't trying to make it fit in, but I think they had to because of the lights and sounds. You can't make something as small as drag strip with that light going across, you know, without it probably being too much money. Anyways, I do think that this is MP scaled, and I think they should switch to this scale. Personally, if they got this going for $50 with lights and sounds, I think everybody would. Well, I don't think everybody would be happy, but I think me and you would be more happy if they did that.
I would be in for so many more Hasbro figures, probably. If they look, you know, because this looks good in alt mode. It looks great in bot mode. I had my, you know, I don't really like the blue jeans, you know, and
I'm sorry, I polluted your mind.
You did. You made me think of blue jeans now. And it fits because, you know, Michael did always wear blue jeans. You know, there's parts about it that, you know, I definitely would have liked to see upgrade. I wish those fists looked a little bit better, but, you know, who cares? This looks great. This is what I've been asking for. This is what I've been wanting, and the price is fine.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's not as small as that Pro. That's what I thought they were going to do.
I did too.
You know, that just makes sense to do it the same size as everything else. So this is really cool. Yeah, I think, as like you said, an upgrade set for some new fists, maybe toy hacks here and there, would be good to go. And here it is with the other, what are they called? Crossovers. 80s crossovers. And it is the best looking one. I don't know. But again, it's not a remold. But did you watch the transformation video?
Yes.
I watched very, very similar to, if we go back, this Prowl.
It's very
similar.
It's very
but different. But just upsized. So it's kind of the same, but different. But out of these 3, it's the best looking one.
And that's I thought Ecto 1 was cool. I actually like Ecto 1. Gigawatt, you know, he looks good in alt mode. I'll put it that way. But
yeah, that chest is a little insane.
Yeah. But the Knight Rider, it just looks cool, and I'll be happy to display it. I did order 3, so I'll have one. Yeah. I only did 3, which is still a lot. But I just wanted to have one in bot mode, one in alt mode, and then I'll just keep one in the box. Yeah.
No, I think this is probably the best crossover figure so far.
I agree. And now I haven't opened all of mine.
And I don't have all of mine. I'm just going by looks.
Yeah.
I think look-wise, this looks the most solid figure out of all of them.
Yeah, I agree. And it has the most features. I mean, that light.
That too. And it's only. I was not expecting it to be $50. You know, it's Voyager size, so $15 gets us the lights and sounds and a bigger figure. You know what I mean? I was not expecting that.
So now this makes me wonder, Is it because Knight Rider is not a blockbuster movie? It was a TV
especially
show.
anymore. Jurassic Park had all those movies. Ghostbuster had all those movies.
Back to the Future had the movies. X-Men.
Yeah, you know what? You might be onto something. The licensing might be less.
Yeah. So all these companies coming to him, hey, is A-Team, is Street Hawk or Airwolf, are those coming? Scooby-Doo. Well, but see, I think a Scooby-Doo
Would be expensive.
Yeah, Mystery Machine would probably be a little expensive.
I'd probably buy that.
But yeah, this looks so much better than the Turtle van.
Yeah, I mean the one that I have them right there is the pizza van from Stranger Things that I made into a Decepticon. This looks so much better than that too.
Yep.
So, well, let's keep it going. Marks R Us also showed off Studio Series Transformers 1 Megatron. It looks very muted with that gray.
Yeah.
Dull. Maybe dull is the better word.
I mean, those are some high knee boots there. I mean,
I was just thinking that he's got like go-go boots on or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna be dancing with the red cha-cha heel Soundwave.
Yeah, going down the runway or something. I mean, yeah, that's not a fan. I'll make it quick and easy. Not a fan at all. Yeah. Not my cup of energon.
I mean, the back, even though you don't view your figures from the back's kind of crazy. Is like, I mean, I get it. Like, you're not looking, but it looks unfinished.
It's boring. It's very. Yeah. There's nothing. I mean, it's like, okay.
And again, it's the back. I get it. I get it, guys. But still, I think it's worth noting because, like, you look at. I just have that Tarn right here. It's not that bad. Like, there's still color variation and stuff. But this is just, yeah. But the tank mode is actually bigger than I expected. I didn't watch the transformation, but I did hear it has an interesting transformation. And I think the tank mode looks cool. It's unique. Maybe not for Megatron, but I do like the tank mode itself.
I like the tank mode better than the bot mode.
I agree. It's unique. I think it's cool.
It's very Cybertronian. It looks fine to me. I'm okay with that.
I agree. It's just weird to me that he's not a Voyager. Him and Optimus, both of them. It's weird that they're deluxes and not Voyagers.
It's just weird to me how long his legs are.
Well, yeah, but a lot of them are like that in the movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's keep it going and look at him next to that Optimus. This is something I didn't like because he's shorter than Optimus Prime. I feel like Megatron should always be bigger than Optimus Prime. He looks like a little dweeb next to Optimus.
Yeah, I think they should be the same size. If not anything, Prime should be bigger, but that's
Prime should be bigger?
Yeah, and that's only because Prime turned into a truck, Megatron turned into a gun.
Okay, all right. Well, this one turns into a tank and the other one turns into a truck. So.
But that's also why I said that I think they should be the same size. I always thought they should be the same size. I
like all my Decepticons bigger. It makes more sense that the warfaring faction would be larger. But either which way, whether you think he should be a little bit taller or the same size, I don't like this. Even their heads are different sizes.
Yeah,
they look like two different scales. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. We've got Straxus image by ex-user Bon Ukoburi 2. And I've got to say, I love this picture with him stepping out of the box. Or the comic that it's kind of like, really cool. And we've got Flame via No Trap. Which actually looks better the more I see of it. Still don't think I'm going to get it. I think you should pick it up, though, so you could finish the collection. But I do think Flame looks better in these pictures than in previous pictures.
I completely agree with everything you said, except for I should get it. Well,
you have 3 of the 4. No, come on.
This picture looks really good, and it makes me think about it again. I've been on the fence and off the fence about this 2-pack. But I think we've always said Flame looked better than I can't remember the other one he comes with.
Emerald Zaron, I think that was his name.
Yeah, something like that. And I think we said that he looked good in bot mode, which he clearly does. It was the alt mode that didn't look great.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Straxus looks great. I love. It looks like he's like you said, stepping out the pages of the comic book. I love the pose. That looks great, and I do have that pre-ordered.
Yeah, I think he looks good too. I would get him any day over the other 2-pack. I'm just gonna wait for a more normal deco without the comic stuff. If they put all of this tooling into it, I'm expecting to see one down the line. If we don't, I'm not. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So I'll wait. So this is something Bobby wanted to talk about, and that is MTRC07, which was called Violet Hour, is now called Fruit Punch. They changed the name. I don't know what's up with that. And all of them, except for Tangerine, Storm, and Brawl, are in stock, including the exclusives from last year, Slipstream, G2 Dirge, and Red Wing. They're all in stock if you want to go ahead. Pick them up, even though they were exclusive, limited to 200. And those are the ones that we've gotten so far on this list. So they're making their way downtown and getting all these done.
Now, is Fruit Punch on this list? I could have swore I saw Fruit Punch.
So he's not, but if you look at the top corner next to Chrono Mustard, it's called. They must have caught on that we showed off the list because they changed the name.
Okay.
Twice at this point. Honestly, I think Violet Hour is another one coming down the line, and I'm expecting a purple one. And they got the names mixed up when they did that. It's like Ultra Violet or Ultramarine or something up in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see. I see.
That's this one. So,
yeah. I just remember I thought I saw one that was called Fruit Punch initially.
I feel like I did too, but he wasn't blue.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And he could be on here. Honestly, I didn't look for that name.
Yeah. I'm like doing a quick search, but I can say this: I want some of those cone heads at the bottom.
They would probably have my money with Traffic Cone. The pink one, I can't read the bubblegum. I think it says. It's very small on my screen. I'd pick that one up. I
would too.
The neon green one in the bottom corner, the bottom
lime spree.
What? Yeah. How it has neon green with black and silver. I think that's a really cool color scheme too. I don't know why they're picking these ones because they're easy. Because they're easy.
Exactly. They're all monochrome,
Yeah. I mean, and the ones they didn't do are colors that they've already done before, too.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like Tangerine had the most colors in it out of all the ones they released. Everything else has been the same color throughout. So, Gangrene, Colonel Mustard, this Fruit Punch, they're all pretty much one color. But yeah, I really hope let me change that. If they're going to continue to go down this line, which it seems like they are, I just hope they do some more of the more extravagant ones so I can get excited about them. I think the fan base would be excited if they came out with some variety in the colors so they didn't look as boring. Tutti Frutti, maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Tutti Frutti. Looks good.
If they limited these to 200 and they did the pink one, I think that would sell out, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not just because of people like me and you, but people that might like Transformers but they don't collect them would see a pink Transformer and want it, because maybe, who knows, maybe they like pink things or whatnot. That's not a typical color, so people would want it. The Orange Seeker, again, that's different, that's unique. That's what they would have my money if they did some of those.
If they released any of these other ones, the problem is, and why we jump on them, is because they look exactly like the ones that we already have. Exactly like, it looks like Thundercracker. Okay, give us something different.
Yeah, if you look at the ones that came out already, there's 2 of them that are circled that are very similar with their blues.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sky Guy and Winglet look very close.
Well, I mean, just the ones that they did. Sky Guy and what is the other one?
Moody
Blue. or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
They did both of those, and they're nigh identical.
Yep.
So I think the Violet Hour is going to be the purple one next to Tangerine Swarm, honestly. Because then that trilogy is done. But who knows if they're even following this, or they have to. They have to be. With the names, they have to be.
Yeah.
The names are exactly the same. I mean,
great.
if anybody knows the artist that made this, please let us know, because he needs to be getting royalties from Make Toys.
Can completely agree.
Because so I don't know. Even the all white Seeker, the next to the one with the question mark, the monochrome Seeker would be unique and different.
White noise. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't read it from here, so that would be really cool. Anyways, anything else to say about these?
That's 60 molds right there, or different figures.
The molds
using
are
two molds,
falling apart.
three molds.
Do all those.
Yeah. So
mold degradation is real.
Yeah. So we have a tenth of them already completed. So
which is ridiculous because they just I feel like. All right, well, let's keep it going. I know you're excited for this. Half the Battle Toys showed off the Chaos Hammer for Unicron, and that's the first assembled one. I swear we already saw one in person that was assembled, but maybe that's the final product.
We saw it in Orlando. Yep, because I have a order in for it.
Yeah. So what do you think of this?
In Orlando. It looks good. It's something that we never saw. I never saw. Let me not say we. I never saw Unicron with the weapon.
No, it's brand new. I think he made it out of his mind, which is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. So if he did have a weapon, I could see exactly this being the weapon for him. I need Mike to make some wings for mine.
Yeah. So because you have it on the planet, right? So
yeah. So he also did he sold the planet kit, so you can separate them.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. He has to tenderize his planets before he eats them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Keeping it going, we got Fans Hobby, Shield, and Naval Commander. Or the Shield team with Naval Commander, and then the Saber team. I think the other version of the Shield team, that's without the all-in-one...
three bots connected.
Yeah, the 3 bots is going to look a lot nicer, let me say, with this version of Prime and that sword, because it's so toon accurate, and this Prime and sword are not.
I completely agree. I think that you can the shield looks too, I don't want to say finished, but for lack of a better word, finished. Like the Prime and the looks like it's combined, or it looks like it has like some different parts that came together. The sword has some different parts that came together, and then the shield looks like it's just one piece, and that's what it is. But you don't get that it came from 3 minicons converting together, combining. That's the word I was looking for.
And I know what they could have done is they could have made another piece for the sword that you take off the top 2 bots and you plug in, the blade for the sword. But they didn't, which I don't blame them. But I do think this is kind of a awkward look. Right.
My dog is sitting here like he wants to see.
Hey, you know what? He could go ahead and join the party. Next, we've got Mecha Invasion. We've got the Dump Truck and Crane, which I think this is the weird one that you could put a
Prowl.
No, that's Generation. No, not Generation Toy. I thought this was the one. Is it the one with the Prowl? I thought this was the one with the Grimlock as a chest, or you could change it, obviously, to this. I honestly, I am so confused with all these Devastators.
Yeah, and then is it also the one that you could that they were selling as a complete set?
Yeah, the one with the Mixmaster as an arm. That's the one I thought this was.
That's what this one is.
That's what this is? Okay.
Yes, right. I just looked it up. So this is yes.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong. So what do you think of these alt modes?
The dump truck long haul, it reminds me of the Combiner War version.
Okay.
it's like kind of short and chunky.
Mhm.
The long haul looks long haul. The hook looks great. Not to say that the long haul doesn't. I think hook looks really good. I love all the windows in the different areas. The crane looks really good. It looks like a very solid figure.
I can't disagree. I think both of these are cool. I really like the hook, how it has that rounded portion where like the crane operator would be.
Yeah.
Very unique. I like new interpretations of figures. I think these are really cool. And their bot modes are no different. I like that the crane turns into a gun. I don't know if a Devastator has had that before, but I like it. And I like how chunky long haul is. I've seen the price. I believe at US retailers it was like $250-ish for the whole set. And honestly, that's not bad for something that's unique. So we'll see. I need to see final pictures, but this is looking like I might have another Devastator in my collection.
Oh yeah. I mean, and if you think about it, it's like $40-something a figure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be too negative, but I think I would like this better than Hasbro's attempt, which is probably going to be around the same price.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
I just think knowing how I like these little gimmicks with the gun, with the crane turning into a gun and stuff, I think I would prefer this. I just need to see it more finished.
I want to see it in color.
And we did already see the other ones in colors, and they look good. The Mixmaster and Scavenger, was it? I don't remember.
Scavenger, yeah, Scavenger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see these in color. I'm in for them. I don't necessarily like the crane turning into a gun like that because it reminds me of well, it was an orange Armada.
Oh yes, was it Strong Arm? I don't remember the name of
yeah,
it. It does. That is what it reminds me of. Yeah,
that big, and I just hated that because it just looked off.
Well, the cool thing with that is you don't have to do it.
Yeah. So
just transform it back, and then it is what it is.
Yeah, I would like for this to like now if it like condensed and sat on his shoulder as like a weapon or whatever, I would absolutely love that.
Or disconnected and you could hold it like a gun or something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It does look like there's some more stuff in there. I'm going to go back one slide real quick. I don't think it disconnects. So you're right, it would look awkward, but maybe it's for the Devastator mode. So Devastator can have a shoulder cannon.
Yeah, that's typically, I mean, it's usually on the Devastator, just hangs in the back anyway. So, but that would be really cool. That's how I would love to see it. But yeah, these guys look good. And they don't look G1, though you're still getting the aesthetics of a G1 character. Like, they don't look like, and that's
why I think it's right up my alley. This is exactly what I want. So supposedly these are larger than the first members, which makes sense because they're the torso. They're almost ready, I guess, and they want to complete the set by Chinese New Year next year. So, it'll be out soon.
Well, I mean, I'm just a little confused if they're selling it as a set.
I don't know either. I've seen it listed both ways on different websites.
Same here. So that's where it's throwing me off.
Hopefully it's a set, but we'll see.
Yes.
And they could also mean it's almost ready, as in the different figures are almost ready, and they're showing, because we pretty much got finished ones of the last one, I think, when Mang Motion had his copies and whatnot. Anyways, we've got Metagate's Black Lightning Geo7, and these are via June King. We've talked about this figure quite a bit. Anything you have to say?
It's growing on me.
Really? Okay. I thought you'd like it because it reminds you of an alternator with all that stuff.
That's what it's actually doing. It's reminding me of an alternator, and the car. Like I'm not a big Mercedes fan, but I do like the wheels on it. I do like the paint job. I don't think I'm gonna get it still, but maybe on sale I will.
Yeah. I mean, you got all the other ones on sale. We'll see if this one does. He was like this in the movie, though, so I don't know if this will be as much on sale as the other ones. But I do think this looks cool. But just not for me.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Ocular Max Insertus, which I still don't understand. Can somebody please explain that name? because that sounds like a very bad, like a bad dad joke or something. And it's Weibo user is the one who posted these pictures. Let's talk about the alt mode. What do you think about this?
It looks like a 80s cop motorcycle. It looks like something like from Chips, that show Chips.
Yeah.
So it looks very spot on. I'm glad it has the little side guns on the, I don't know what
yeah, see them. Yeah.
And that they clip on. So yeah, I like it. I like seeing like the definition around where the engine is and stuff. So it looks good.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a great looking vehicle mode. Bot mode depends on the angle, it looks like. The one where there's no other bots and you see it from up, I'm like, oh, that actually don't look bad. And then you see it with his other companions and you're like, oh, he still has all that neck problems that we've talked about before.
Yep. This set, the first two I was really excited about. I really like the first two figures. These last two haven't been that, been great for me. They're okay, but again, I was two bots in, so I'm gonna complete the set, but I haven't been really that thrilled with them.
Yeah, it's again not my favorite, but I think you'll be happy to complete the set when it all comes out.
And I don't know if I'm gonna. I think now this set might be in alt mode.
Wouldn't the alt modes have been very good for all of these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this might.
All right. Well, after this short break, we'll be finishing off with incoming and what has been recently released. There's one thing that's incoming, and I think Bobby's going to be very excited for that, and that is the Iron Factory, which it's surprising he wants an Iron Factory figure if you've been watching the channel. The Spear of Marbus, and this is via a Weibo user. Now, are you ready for this to drop?
Yeah, I've been ready. It took a hiatus. The first two came out so fast, and then we got teased with, all these the remaining characters. So yeah, I'm ready for this. Let's go ahead and get this completed by October.
I think you're pushing it. But I do think this looks really good. The jet mode, I'm not a big fan of the arms just underneath. But again, I get it. It's small. It's what it is. It doesn't have room for all that engineering. The combined mode looks amazing, even though it does have those fake parts that I'm not a big fan of. But I can't deny that the end result doesn't look good.
And the bot mode looks amazing.
Yes. That too. It looks, and it, like you said, I think with the Jaguar, it looks better than TFC's. 100%. Now, you can't really compare the two. It's like the MP10 Prime and the new Prime. You can't compare them, but it does look a lot better.
It looks a lot better, and I'm with you. I don't really like the alt mode too much. It's fine for what it is, but I think that the combined mode, the chest piece looks amazing. The head looks amazing, but the bot mode really shines on this figure.
I agree. Let's talk about what's recently released. First thing is the 3-0 premium scale, the Bumblebee. And this is via Shai Lao on Instagram. I love the glass detail on the chest. And this is what I was talking about. I forget which one we were looking at. Which Shattered Glass Prime.
I think it was the new MP one that they're...
That's what it was. Yeah, it was the new MP one. I love the actual broken glass and you can see in the inside. Now, this is a $500 figure, but I think that is perfection with everything else.
I'm right there with you. This looks good. I'm not a fan of, the movie aesthetic, but the color and the detail around the glass breaking look really, really good.
Yeah, I really like it. So, hopefully, maybe Takara will see this and add interchangeable boob windows.
Ooh, that would be great.
Well, that's all they needed to do would be make them interchangeable. That's it.
That would be great.
That's
or
maybe party. I was gonna say maybe DNA. I don't think they do MP, but it doesn't matter. Maybe there's gonna be a third-party set that you could do that. I don't know how screwed in those windows are obviously I don't have the figure.
Honestly, it'd be even better if they were screwed in and you had to unscrew them and put them.
Yes, so that would be the best. But that's what I meant if they were screwed in. What I mean is if they're like glued in or clipped in.
Well,
screwed in is the best case scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. Lastly, this is all for Bobby. We got Pingu Toys, Black Ninja, and it's $33.99. I think that's the cheapest I've seen it for. Are you going to be picking up this collab?
I have not put a pre-order in on it.
It's out. It's not even a pre-order anymore.
Okay, then yeah, I haven't put an order in for it. The picture of him holding the gun is probably the best picture I've seen of this. It's still not doing it for me.
He kind of has Chase syndrome with no neck.
No neck, big chest,
huge shoulders, which is not something I really think of with Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes, yeah.
Like I see him as, being well built, but I don't see him as like Superman physique.
Yeah.
I think this is fine. I don't like that you have to put on the cat stuff though. Not that I would really be turning him into that, but that whole just don't have that mode.
Right. Because that mode really didn't offer anything.
No, it didn't, and it makes his feet look like cat feet, which I'd rather have normal Snake Eyes feet, which I don't know what they look like, but not 3 toes.
Yeah, so. I really like the alt mode. I like the head on this, but it's so far I haven't been swayed.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. But maybe they'll do a repaint that's really cool.
They've
done it for every one of these. Maybe they'll do a repaint and I'll be like, oh, I'll actually pick that up.
They'll do a white one for Storm Shadow.
I was hoping more for like a snow. Well, maybe that would work, but maybe not white. Maybe white and blue. That would probably be the only way I'd pick it up so it could go with my Cryotech gang. Honestly. Either which way, thank you guys for watching this far in the video. Stay tuned. My collection tour of this dungeon that I'm in right now will be out for all of you guys on Friday. Members, you'll see it either today or tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this video. And come join us to show off our hauls. It's a little early, but we'll still get it done. And like this video, do all that YouTube stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
As always, till all debates are won.